I remember it like it was yesterday, and this memory will haunt me until the day I die. It was a moonless night. The sea was black, covered by a thin mist, and a freezing wind whipped across my face. I had been out at sea for about 3 days, and never had anything strange happen to me, and yet I've seen some weird things out there, believe me. For me, that night was just routine. I was hauling up my crab cages, my movements mechanical, precise. The lamps on my boat flickered weakly in the fog, barely lighting the deck, but it was enough. I knew my job. I didn't need much light. Then I heard a sound. At first, I didn't even pay attention, thinking it was just the wind, or maybe a gull wandering on deck. But no. A step, then another. At first, it was light, almost imperceptible. I froze, my hands clenched tightly around the edge of the cage. I didn't recognize that sound. It wasn't the sea. It wasn't the wind. They were footsteps, bare feet, growing more and more regular, and louder tapping softly against the wooden deck. The sound stopped for a moment. Even the waves seemed to hold their breath. I turned on my flashlight and pointed the beam toward the noise. My heart was racing, my breath quickened. I moved slowly, cautiously, toward the source of the sound. The beam of light swept across the bow, and that's when I saw her. A woman, medium height, fragile looking, soaked her clothes clinging to her body, her dripping hair hanging over her face, her bare feet pressed against the wet wood. She was crouched down, leaning over my water barrel, drinking. At first, I thought she was a castaway, someone lost at sea who had somehow managed to climb aboard.
Are you all right, ma'am?
I spoke to her.
Do you need help?
Nothing, not a sound. She didn't react. It was as if she couldn't even hear me. Then she slowly raised her head, and that's when I knew. Her eyes, yellow, glowing, staring straight at me. Her face was unnaturally pale, and there was no expression there, no emotion, no humanity. My stomach tightened. Panic erupted inside me. I was paralyzed. As I tried to back away, I fell. I hit the deck hard, tried to get back up, my legs shaking. Then I ran. I ran for the wheelhouse, where I could lock myself inside, but the footsteps were right behind me. At first walking, then running. I could almost feel her breath on the back of my neck. I reached the cabin, slammed the door shut, locked it, gasping for air, my hands pressed to the window. Silence returned for a few moments, but it wasn't the silence of the sea. It was heavy, the kind of silence before a storm. I looked outside. Nothing, just fog and darkness. And then I saw her again. Not in front of me, but in the reflection of the glass. She was standing there, still, behind me, staring at me with those empty yellow eyes. My scream never came out. It stayed trapped in my throat. I bolted out of the cabin, down into the fish hold, slamming the hatch shut behind me. I was in total panic, shaking, drenched, my heart pounding so hard it hurt. All through the night, I heard her footsteps above me. Sometimes laughter, sometimes whispers, cries, sobbing. I curled up in a corner, knees pulled to my chest, unable to close my eyes for even a second. At dawn, a heavy silence fell again. I didn't move. I listened to the soft slapping of the water against the hull. I thought maybe it had all been a dream, a hallucination from exhaustion. I got up, climbed out of my hiding place, and looked around. The deck was soaked. Puddles everywhere, some shaped like human footprints. That's when I knew it wasn't a dream. I didn't even pull up my nets that morning. I lifted anchor and sailed straight back to port, without looking back once. Since that day, I've never set foot on the sea at night again. And sometimes, when the southern wind blows and the sea is calm, I can still hear footsteps on the deck, and her laments. If you ask me, I don't know. I never believed in all those ghost stories, but honestly, I think I saw a Mul Gwishin, the soul of a drowned person that haunts the sea.